Hi, welcome to Cutscene. If you're doing this right, you're about to meet three assholes and their stupidly drunken uncle. I'm Eric.
I'm Jason.
And I'm Chris.
And welcome to Cutscene by I Beat It First.
Yay!
Yay! Okay, so we're done.
Yay! We're done.
We're done with this
we
anime.
Finished up. Deca-Dence is in the
Burned it all
books.
down the ground.
It burned it all down to the ground. Took it all. The chibis are real.
The 100% real. Confirmed.
100%
Chibis are real. And they were living in space, too.
Yeah, spice.
Yeah.
Space!
Well, they showed that it was over the.
Yeah, but we weren't certain that, like, because the one thing that we knew was that those chibis were eating the poop. But we didn't know that, like, all of that was happening was all of them, all in bodies, in the little dome area and in space.
And they can travel between each other at any given time that they want. So, I mean, that
can they though?
Differ again.
So that's the question.
Because the commander came down to Deca-Dence, and they're like, "Commander, what the hell are you doing here? And you're like IRL, like what?"
Yeah. So how the fuck did he get down
real
there?
Body?
Because everybody else
was like cool.
Everybody else was like logging in during that whole time of when they weren't supposed to be logging in, and
except for the bugs who were obviously underneath the lake in the poo land.
Shoveling poop in poop land, eating poop, shoveling poop, doing poop things.
Sounds pretty shitty.
It did. It sounded like a real shitty way to live. Let's be honest here.
It did. Shit, alcohol. Man, I mean, it'd be one thing. It'd be one thing to have to shit around or shovel around and poop, but being forced to drink Bud Light would just be like the worst.
Yeah, that's why they made him drink Mick Ultra instead.
Ayo.
No, Mick Ultra is still better than Bud Light.
I'll drink a Mick Ultra. I'll drink a Mick Ultra.
I will drink a Mick Ultra any day over a Bud Light. But that's also because
1000%.
Bud Light gives me headaches. Straight up,
and
can't drink.
And it tastes like poo water. I think I would enjoy it more if I did shove it up my ass.
I was just gonna say, I'm like, so you would have to do what they do in order to get drunk and stick it up your ass.
You'd have to. Yeah.
Inject that beer straight into your ass. That way, you circumvent the gas up here because you're always gonna get gas down here. Yeah. And you just immediately get gas and you just fly it out.
New definition for getting shit canned, huh?
Shit face.
Yeah.
Shit canned is different. Shit canned is a whole different term, though. Shit canned has absolutely nothing
fired?
to do with getting drunk.
Shit canned getting fired, isn't it?
Shit canned is getting fired.
That's why they're in shit land.
Right.
Yeah, they already got shit canned. But getting shit canned is getting fired, which is a leading cause of getting drunk. But
I mean, if you were to say I got shit
the
canned by
act
my
of getting
boss,
drunk.
I think that has a whole different connotation to it now. So
That's true. That's 100% true. Like, if you're just like, man, my boss really gave it to me.
Oh man.
But the weird thing, and we talked about this on the last one, is that they get the nutrients of it by shipping it up their ass. So they take the shit and it goes up their ass and they get drunk off of it, and then somehow they end up throwing up.
There was more vomit in this anime, I think, than what I've seen in ever in any anime. I think there's more vomit in this anime than I have seen in any anime.
It's true, and never once did they make it rainbow.
No, they did not.
They did not give it the Konosuba
or
My Hero Academia or many other animes that do the rainbow vomit. This was literally the color of the shit.
Shit green vomit
that they had to eat.
Like, shit was really like a pivotal part of the anime.
It really was.
Think about it. It was a plot device. It was sequencing. It was trap. It was how they escaped. It was how they got drunk. It was like a big part of this anime is just purely shit. It was,
and they started referring to the place where they were being held as the outhouse.
That's right.
Which you know what? Because of all the stuff, like, I'm glad that we didn't watch it in the sub. Primarily because with something like this, like an anime like this, the context of what they say in Japanese is usually a little bit different. And here they do like the full on literal of like, it's the fucking outhouse. You're eating shit.
No, and you hit a good talking point there, Eric, that the dubbing wasn't bad. The voice acting
the dub's
was pretty
great.
Good.
Yeah,
all the characters matched and stuff like that. I mean, Kitsuragi or whatever his name is, the main guy, he never fit any of his bodies, but that's because that was kind of the point. He never was that person, it felt like. You know, I think even in his real one, it was just like kind of like, oh,
his more humanoid form, I think, fit him well. And then obviously his chibi form. I mean, the chibi forms fit all of them. Let's be honest here. But his real body, like his orange one, is the one that I think I felt the most uncomfortable with.
His real body? What do you mean his real body?
Well, the orange one was like a normalish one. We never saw his whatchamacallit. The body when he was like an actual like hunter or whatever. Like we never saw one of those. No. But the orange one was probably the closest one that they had to one of those bodies. Because
when he hacked in the first time and created a new character?
Yeah, when they took over like an extra one that was there before he got his humanoid body back that we saw in the first episode, but we never saw the body that he used for combat previously that got him demoted because he broke the limiters and stuff like that.
I thought we did see him in the body that he was in when
I don't remember it.
They met. Yeah, because I mean, they had that whole scene where they even talked in like that's how he got caught. That's how he got busted because they had the recording of them all talking about releasing limits and stuff like that.
Oh, yeah, we did see that. We did see that conversation. That was it.
Yeah.
So it was very short because then everything else, like it was locked in or it was sandwiched into that whole chibi sequence. That's right. I totally forgot about that way back in episode 2.
Well, I mean, that was like almost 2 months ago because I mean, we haven't had one of these in a while. So
yeah, no. So you know and the orange one though was the one that they just kind of like found.
Yeah, well, I mean,
that's why it's like when I say uncomfortable, I mean like it just like that was the one that I didn't feel it fit right with it. You know what I mean? So,
I guess. I mean, because it was a throwaway account. It was literally his throwaway account.
Yeah.
He made it in the shit factory, and it was just like, whatever. I'm gonna go.
He had to go make an email, john@ilovebutts.com, and then logged in with that one. Made sure that he didn't use a standard password because they get that stuff. Yeah, and so it's like he did that one. No, not Lonely Houseplants. We don't offer email there. But right. I mean, we have email, but we don't offer it. Oh yeah, Jason, we're gonna need emails that we can actually send from lonelyhouseplants.com.
You got it. Tell me what you want. I can make it happen.
Hey, I could respond to that email that came to my spam box.
Oh God, what was the email that came into your spam box?
It was trying to do like a collaboration or whatever with some like gardening website.
That is amazing. That I would love to do a collab with a gardening website, like Martha Stewart Gardening.
They found like the podcast post where he came up with that domain, just like Lonely Plants or something like that was the episode.
It was Lonely Houseplants was the name of the podcast episode.
It was like, oh hey.
Oh my God.
I hear you're into plant friendship. How would you like to?
And the robot's literally doing that. Hi, I hear you're into plant friendship.
Like
Would you like to do a Would you like to do a collab about plant friendship?
Oh my god, I am down. I am 1000% down. Like, yes, we would love to host your content about plants on our video game website and podcast.
Nice to meet you. I work closely with Gardener's Path. We got plenty of tips and guides on everything plant related. I want to ask you a question about this page. /IBIF Podcast 111 Only Plants. Hopefully you're the right person. Got an early question. Are you? Thanks. Julie Woodworth. Content manager.
Are you? Thanks.
Path. Are you? Thanks.
Chris, I guess you missed my email. I just have a quick question about your article to Only Plants. You can set up some sort of exchange and return. Like smiley
Swipe right to lightly miss.
Wait. Is there really a smiley face on it?
If you want to set this up, cheers.
Did they really send a smiley face emoji?
Yeah.
Oh shit.
Let me screen grab this.
Yeah, we need to like reply to that and be like, we are definitely down for, as chat says, swiping right on plant friendship. Oh man. Okay.
I like your foliage.
All right, so we start off this setup.
Take
so
my piston hard.
Want to see my pistol? I really dig your stamen.
Oh my lord!
All right.
You're gonna make me pollinate.
Plant. You don't have
to.
I
like the clover.
Yeah, you don't have to pollinate lonely at lonelyhouseplants.com.
Oh man, there it is.
There it is. That's our new one. I fucking love it. Oh, I feel kind of bad that we have Julie Woodworth's name up on here.
Yeah, right.
The plus side
there, Julie.
The plus side is that Chris has their email address blocked off on this, so we can't see your email. So that's good.
Right.
Oh man. Okay.
Yeah, anime podcast. Deca-Dence,
anime
guys.
Podcast.
How'd you like it?
Stonks. Actually, that's not stonks. That's our listener total for the day.
Yeah, one day we just went nuts.
And the funny thing is, it looks like it's giant, and it is, but we normally have like all these weird spikes. It's just for some reason that day spiked up more than others.
Yeah,
but that just kind of happens. It happens with like downloads when people auto download. People go on trips and they download and they prep stuff or anything like that. I feel really bad for somebody that considers us essential trip listening, unless
any listening.
You're the navigator or the driver and you hate everybody else in the car with you. Then you make sure that you have our entire library downloaded and you're doing a cross-country trip and you make them listen to every I Beat It First podcast.
We're every jail in America uses us as solitary confinement punishment. You're just in a padded room with us on podcasts.
I'm sorry, that's corporal punishment, and that has been outlawed.
War crimes. I Beat It First does not condone war crimes.
But we are
using our podcast.
Essential to war crimes, apparently.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
Okay. All right. So that makes sense. We left off in the last episode that they were going to go and attack the main factory facility for the Gadol. And I love that he's like, I gotta tell her, I gotta explain everything about it to her. And she's just like, yeah, I get it. This is where they're born, right? And he's like, well, it's not quite that. And then she just walks through the barrier without him even getting a chance to like warn her, hey, something weird might happen. She's just like standing there. He's like, are you all right? She's like, yeah. Why wouldn't I? And he still doesn't explain. So the best part is they walk in. Like, that's a good 30-minute walk from where they're at to get to that building. And he doesn't say a fucking thing.
Right.
At all.
Just totally like, so how's the weather? What do you think? Well, I mean, it's probably sad because the saddest moment about this entire anime was that glance back he gave to his dog after he fed him. Yeah. Oh my God. Thinking back to that, I was just like, that's heart-wrenching.
That was, man. He also had a very cold-blooded look on his face too.
Well, yeah, like, I'm just like
when I was watching that, I was like,
you're making this decision and you know what you have to do. And it's just like, you got to be like,
but he didn't, like, I understand that they were really trying to get remorseful off, but he really, like, it looked like he was just like, yeah, that's right. You're going to fucking die. As he walked out, that's what I got from his draw, like the way that they drew him. It's just like he's just going out and he's like, "Fuck you, dog," and he closes the door.
Kind of cute.
And why would he feed him?
A last meal, dude. Come on.
Yeah.
Why would he care for him? No, he wasn't.
He did care for him. That's why he kept him.
Mm-hmm.
I know, but then why would he have that like horrible look on his face then?
Well, but that's what I was saying. Is like I thought the drawing was a little weird because I was like, that doesn't really look like a sad look. That looks like a fuck you, dog.
Well, I mean, they also didn't want to give away too much because if he was like way too much, like, oh my God, be good, see ya, never again. You'd be like, wait, what's gonna happen here? Because we had no idea. We knew the idea was to go destroy the Gadol.
If we used our fucking brains that they were gonna kill all the Gadol. If we used our fucking brains and thought about it, we could have known that this was gonna happen. And all of us just sat there like, I don't understand what's going on with this dog.
I was accepting the fact that they were going to kill everything at the like incubator. I was thinking that it would just like send out a signal everywhere to be like done.
No, I knew that they were going out, they were going to kill them all, and didn't even put two and two together about that fucking dog.
That's even worse, Eric. And it's like, because you're what they were tricking. Like you're the person who's just like,
I was the gullible idiot.
Alien. Yeah, there's a dog costume on this alien. It's obviously a dog. Oh, that's even better. That is even better.
Yeah, so they go in. The way that they did that whole thing was just fucking awesome. Except for the fact that one asshole guy like betrayed them and whatnot. Everything ran off without a hitch, and it was great that they lit all the shit on fire and then pumped the toxic gas. Like it's exactly what we thought, that it was underneath that area, and sent it all up into the lake, polluting the lake, causing the Gadol to go ape shit. Then they threw up their fields, and then they were able to just kind of like float in and fly around and have their own merry way inside there. Oh my God, is that the website?
It was well done.
Oh my God, it is.
Well thought about. Holy shit. Oh, it's so cute.
Gardenerspath.com. Get the best gardening and horticulture. Need gardening advice? Looking to grow your own veggies or create a flower garden? We have the best growing guides, tips, and tricks. They're missing the fucking Oxford comma. I hate them already. I am not doing a collab with someone that doesn't know how to use a fucking Oxford comma. I'm sorry. I'm done. Put the kibosh on it right now. That's it. It's over. They're missing a comma.
Deleting our Oxford comma right now.
Sweet. I'm burning this website and all the podcasts to the ground. I'm not doing any more recordings. I'm not doing any more editing. We're done. Oxford comma
you've done any editing in the last 2 months.
I haven't done any editing in the last 2 months. 2 months, month and a half. It's like really it's like coming from that month and a half to the 2 months real quick. I really need to do more editing.
Are like, yeah, all our editing that we're doing, that we're totally listening to this.
Well, no, it's about a month and a half because I think the last cutscene was May 3rd. The big question is what was the last I beat it first? That's the big one. So the last cutscene was May 3rd.
I think it was May 2nd. So I streamed May 3rd.
Well, that was the date that it went live.
Oh, published, yeah.
Patch notes. Wait, where's I beat it first at? Normally these are all. Oh yeah, no. So May 2nd was the last recording. May 3rd was the last post. So it's still 6 weeks. I'm only 6 weeks behind. And one of them is long. One of them is a 3.5 to 4 hour podcast with Bulldog.
Oh, because the E3.
Yeah. I'm like, oh, that's gonna be a long one. Okay. Yeah. So they like pollute that entire lake. That was awesome. I was digging that. I thought that was hilarious. Then they just very easily go in and they just. Well, not super easily. They run into that fucking computer cop thingy-mabobber.
Yeah.
That guy's a dick still. I hate that guy.
This is the only like downside that I had with the anime so far was his character, which was supposedly kind of complex. And then finding out that it was really just his sidekick that was with him all the time that was the actual MCP. And the MCP was just like, all right, you do whatever you want. I don't give a shit. Like,
well, it was the Matrix.
Right.
That guy was Agent Smith. And
right.
and the MCP, yeah, it was just like the Matrix itself.
He was like, we're gonna reset everything. We're just gonna destroy the whole shield and then start from scratch. But instead he's just like, all right, you just destroy everything. That's fine. Like that was kind of like
still gonna reset the thing, or whatever. But because like
they set the timer, and they said like, okay, if you succeed, we'll stop.
Yeah, it's just like I don't understand.
Good luck.
Because wouldn't the system want to be all about getting back to decadence eventually, even if you have to start from scratch? The system should still be like, yeah, instead of being like, no, destroy everything that I know and then have fun with a new city and stuff like that, where we can all live in peace and harmony. Like the whole idea is that the system's fighting bugs. There's no bigger bug than being like, now we're going to be a system of malware, in essence, the way that you could look at this, right? So.
Yeah, but I mean, there's so many ways you could look at it and just be like, well, it kind of makes sense. Like if it just realized that defeating bugs, and as the one girl said, it's like defeating bugs was a core tenet of the system now. Like that's all that it was for the most part, was defeating bugs. So once it found out, or like it looked at that and it figured out a different way to go about it, that worked. I mean, shit, they turned the entire thing into a farming simulator at the end of the thing, which I was just like, oh my god. I was wondering, I'm like, are they gonna leave this up to be a second anime? Like, could they do a second season? I don't necessarily know if they're gonna do a second season because of that. It's like after that happened, I was like, well, what's gonna happen? Oh, never mind. It's farming sim.
Which I thought was fantastic. That is
it was fantastic. It was fantastic.
Farm sim, there's a petting zoo. There's a dueling
It was
arena.
the natural progression of video games. I mean, that's
sports arena.
That's where we sit. The sports arena. Actually, I thought that was a really good idea. Like they went there and they're like, all right, well, let's just flip this around, and instead of like one giant amusement park, let's make it a bunch of little amusement parks. With all like different focuses and whatnot, and that's kind of how like video games have gone. I mean, it was all about bang bang shoot shoot shoot. Let's kill the monsters up on Mars that came from the portal to hell, and then go into hell and do all that. And now it's, I'm sad. I have a farm town. I have some friends there. I got to make sure that I seduce Sebastian. And tell me I'm wrong. Tell me that everybody doesn't want to just seduce Sebastian in that game. Tell me I'm wrong.
I didn't want to seduce anybody my whole time. I hated actually everybody. It's like, nah. I'm just gonna do my thing.
I'm gonna destroy this fucking thing. Screw going through an entire year's worth of planting and farming and marrying and fishing and all that. I'm gonna destroy this entire goddamn place.
No, I didn't want to destroy it. I was just like, I'm gonna do my own thing. Whenever I run into somebody, I'd be like, here's some weeds I found, and they're like, thanks. And I was like, yep, leave me alone. Fishing, great. Mining, great. Farming, awesome. Social interactions, pass.
Get the fuck out of here. Did you like going into the mines and attacking the poor animals that were in there?
Of course. Animal brutality is the best part of any kind of simulation.
That's why Pokemon's such a popular game.
That's why Pokemon's such a popular
Legalized cockfighting, everybody. Woohoo!
Yep.
Okay.
Do we need to put the spoiler on here or an alert being like, hey, you know what? Dog dies.
I mean, you never actually see the dog die.
I mean,
the dog
you see
just
the
disappears.
dog clothes. The dog clothes. I was like,
Next to the bowl.
Well, here's the problem, Jason.
The empty bowl. He ate it all. He was like, oh, that was so good.
No, he didn't eat it all. There was still a little left. That's what showed. That's what showed that he ate some, and then he died. But here's the problem that we have, Jason. Theoretically, everybody listening to this has already seen this dog die.
They better have. But I mean, I meant like before anything, like they're watching live. Should we like set ourselves up for betterment in the future? Or it's just like, yo, the dog dies.
No, it needs to be a fucking surprise. That's part of life, people. It's part of life.
Dog death surprise.
Dog deaths are gonna happen, and it's part of the story. Like, it's supposed to help build emotion to it, Chris.
What?
Mr.
If this is us making fun of you, Chris, if you couldn't pick that up yet, yeah.
Fuck you for not telling me the dog dies at the beginning of this game. Oh, you mean the game that I beat like 2.5 years ago? Okay. That it dies literally at the very beginning of the game, and then beyond that is so much more death of like regular people and everything like that. But I'm an asshole for not remembering that a dog dies at the very beginning of that goddamn game.
Yeah.
You go around chucking rocks from a sling at people's heads and leading rats to devour them like whole, just like alive, and yet the dog died at the beginning, and that's sad.
Yes.
It makes me sad, and I don't like to be sad.
It happens, guys. It happens. Dog died. Get over it. Or don't. I mean, you don't have to get over it, but you do have to come to grips that it's gonna happen in mediums. Like, part of the whole reason to watch John Wick is because the dog dies in that. And you don't like seeing it die. But everything that happens in John Wick after that, all that murder happens because that dog died.
Dog died.
Worst dog die though is got to be I Am Legend, in my opinion. That was easily one of the
that one was one of the worst ones. I mean, when I was a kid, Old Yeller dying, that was always always sad. But I was also a little kid when I watched it.
Yeah, that was just traumatic, not so much like. She's like, why you can't pet a dog with a gun, you silly goose. That's not how you do that.
Wait, how are you gonna pet me with that, Jimmy? I don't get it. Sorry, Old Yeller. Or
You're
Cujo.
Just too ornery anymore.
Or Cujo. That Cujo poor dog just got rabies.
That was the point.
That poor dog just got rabies. He got sick. That's the worst part about it.
That's what you have to do. You can't do anything about it.
But it's still sad. It can be sad.
When that Old Yeller too, didn't he get rabies? Isn't that what that was?
No, yeah, Old Yeller got rabies as well. But they put Old Yeller down before he could go all Cujo on everybody.
Right.
Okay. So we digress.
Hashtag spoilers.
Yeah. Hashtag dog
40-year-old spoilers.
Oh yeah, that's like God. Hang on. When did Old Yeller come out? When did Old Yeller come out? When did Old Yeller go? 1957. It's a 65-year-old spoiler, everybody. Wait a second. They made a second movie?
How?
Called Savage Sam. What is this? Did they break people's hearts again?
Is it Pet Sematary?
Savage Sam is Old Yeller's son. He's a blue tick coonhound and every bit as courageous and loyal as his father, as well as an incredibly keen tracker. Sam mostly likes chasing bobcats, sometimes with Arliss. So, wow. I can't believe that they did that. They made another one. Does he die? What happened to Savage Sam? Oh, here we go. What? What the fuck? On June 14th, 1962, Mike Gibson, Fred Gibson's son, found the Gibson family dog, the inspiration for Savage Sam, chained and clubbed to death in a shed behind the new family home. What the fuck?
You know what this needs to be? This needs to be a movie.
Yeah. I don't know if that's what... I don't know if they made the movie. Wow, did they make... I don't want to do it. I want to look at the Wikipedia.
Yeah, stop. This is like the most depressing cutscene episode we've ever done. Come in here for good times in anime, everybody. Hey, guess what? Dead Dogs is our conversation today. Enjoy it. Enjoy it. This is why we're on solitary and confinement. This is why we are being used for torture. Because this is our conversation. And we're loving it. It's ridiculous. This is... There's murderers on death row being like, fuck these guys.
They're just like, Jesus.
And I'm in here, and they got me locked up. Yeah, exactly.
What the?
Oh, my Lord.
Oh, my God. Okay, yeah, I'm done looking at Savage Sam right now. Fuck this.
Oh, my Lord.
It's all right. The sadness of it will get us ready for the next anime. All right, so they break it all down. Everything's done. Apparently, the people inside the outhouse that were running the outhouse found one of those Godals and made a pet of it as well. Except this one was a little bit more of a dick, but probably because they were dicks.
Because they were dicks, yeah.
Yeah. And I knew it immediately as soon as it stuck him, and then he pulled his shirt up. I'm like, shit.
Oh, same here. I was like, we got an alien situation going on right now.
And it was almost as I really wish that they did the full alien like
Gutbuster
pops out, but they didn't. And that was.
I mean, they did pretty good of being like, this is really fucking gross what's happening right now, guys. Just to kind of give you a heads up, because that also means that these avatars are real. We didn't even go into that. Like, we know that there's the humans. And we know that there's the chibi people, but then there are the avatars, and those avatars do get abandoned, but they are still bodies that can die and all kinds of bleed and all that stuff like that. So, like, how are they being created? Like, and they're obviously not human. Like, obviously, look, they're definitely just a living doll, because when they're not logged in, they are inanimate. They fall down or all jazz like that. But the fuck, how are they being created? How are they anything? And then,
living tissue over metal. So they're Terminators. I'm like, prove me wrong.
The only thing is that then they wouldn't die.
Maybe. Well, no, they're programmed to cease function after X amount of damage.
So then they can use it as HP.
Yep. And they have HP points and everything like that, because it's just a game.
Yeah.
I fucking I blew that one out of the water. There we go. That one works perfectly. Everything about that works.
Canon now.
Canon.
Yeah, it's canon. And how about this? They don't have to be metal skeletons. They could be plastic skeletons. So then that way they break.
Eco-friendly.
Yeah, eco-friendly. Made of corn plastic.
That's right.
And 100% biodegradable human being flesh.
To be able to kill.
Oh, man. And, they use shit for fuel.
Yeah.
Why not?
Alcohol, food.
Man,
fuel.
That was... Hey, we're going to jump to the end. That ice cream stand that they had, it's like... Is food so good you'll swear you can't even taste the Godal. I was like, oh God.
It took a long time. It's delicious now. I mean, it technically it is an animal, isn't it? So I mean, they are eating them already. That was a big part of their food source.
Yeah.
Because after battles, they'd go out there and harvest the Godal. So it shouldn't be that big of a surprise that. Yeah, you can technically make steak ice cream. Fuck, they have mustard ice cream nowadays for all intents and purposes.
They have
Grey Poupon ice cream. It exists. It's real.
They actually have ketchup popsicles.
Yeah. Well, that doesn't surprise me because ketchup's already full of sugar. Like, that's like, hey, all right.
Yeah, but that's the thing that people are actually excited to buy.
Lick that shit up.
I mean, I like mustard. I like mustard, but I still wouldn't eat mustard ice cream.
No, I'm not going to.
Yeah, I know.
But mustard ice cream, just like, that's the funky flavor. Thinking about
ketchup popsicle.
I'm just having a hard time with
How about ketchup and mustard popsicle?
Dude, you dip it in. You dip it into the ice cream and then you got your steak sorbet. And it's just like, I'm on an all liquid diet and you're still a billion pounds.
The best was the French's post. So the French's Canada post that they made of that, where they were actually like, yeah, this is a real thing. And then all the Canadians are like, all these Americans on here saying ew, but yet they'll still drink Diet Coke like no one, like it's going out of style. And Diet Coke is full of poisons and whatnot that are outlawed in other countries because they're that gross and bad for you. And I'm just sitting there looking at it and I'm like, that all sounds gross. Every bit, even the Diet Coke. Mm-hmm. Like, I don't drink Diet Coke. I will tell you that Diet Coke is poison. And you know what else? That ketchup popsicle sounds disgusting.
It's still.
I'd still try it.
I bet you this still full of HFCS, man. It's still gonna kill you. Would you rather have rat poison or arsenic? You know, dealer's choice. Hooray!
I'll still try the popsicle. If somebody had one and said, "Hey, will you try this?" and I'll be like, I'll just say, I'm like, frozen gazpacho. I will give it a try. And then I'll go,
I might not
nope,
finish
that's not
it.
For me. I said I'd try it. Try means one bite or one lick. You don't have to do more than that in order to try it.
What if you were to try it and they did like the easy squeeze style from 1990s or 2000 where it's like purple and green ketchup and they made a popsicle of that. So here's your grape popsicle, buddy. And then it's ketchup.
I'd take a look at it and be like, this is the grossest fucking grape popsicle I've ever had.
Dude, I'm having a real hard time with it.
How old are these grape popsicles?
Wait. How about if they mixed the purple and the green together, like in a swirl, and they said that it was like green apple and grape?
If you did green and grape in the purple mixed together, then it'd turn out like the shit colored crap that they're
no in a twist. So they freeze it. They freeze them in individual swirls. Yeah. So it's like a twist, and it's like green
peanut butter
purple.
and jelly mixture thing.
Like that, mm-hmm. And you had that in there. You know what though? I'd fucking eat a peanut butter and jelly popsicle.
Oh, you know what? That sounds actually quite lovely.
I would eat the shit out of Concord grape jelly and peanut butter popsicle. It would be so bad for you.
You could make that super
easy. You can. You know how much peanut butter that would be, though? Oh, my God. It's so much peanut butter.
Just use it as a meal replacement, and then it's healthy. Fine.
Meal replacement popsicles.
It's a straight up protein popsicle. It is a straight up protein popsicle. Because people will do that. They'll eat peanut butter as protein for like after they've worked out and whatnot. Like that's the peanut butter that they'll have. There we go. Peanut butter popsicles.
After you're working out, you're hot and sweaty. You need a cool treat to cool down. And it's packed with protein.
Ugh. You cannot make protein shake popsicles, by the way. They do not. Like, you got to make them real thin in order to get them to be popsicles. And then at that point, it's gross. So just FYI, anybody out there that's thinking about that, don't do it. Otherwise, you got to make it in like an ice cream like consistency. And I will say that my wife has made like these protein balls with like protein powder and peanut butter and oats and chocolate chips and stuff like that are actually kind of like really good. But they're like hard as fuck when you get them out of the freezer. You'll chip a tooth on them. Okay, back to the anime. So now that we've talked about something that's actually good, let's go back to something that's gross, and let's talk about the alcohol that they made out of the shit of the Gadals. Because drunk uncle, which at the very beginning of this podcast, it was an actual line. It's like the biggest asshole here and his drunk uncle when they were talking about how they got betrayed.
Yep.
And his secret stash that he had that he then shoved up his ass that made sparks come out of every orifice of his body. Then when he had just a little bit of that liquid Gadal shit, it made him explosive.
Fermented.
It's the purest.
Fermented liquid.
Yeah, it's just like, oh my god, there was so much. And the fact that they actually made it like, yeah, the Gadal shit actually is flammable.
Yep.
I mean,
was just
like cow pies. Cow pies, that's flammable.
Yeah, but not explosive flammable. Cow pies are flammable, but they're not explosive flammable.
You cram enough of that into a potato gun. I'll show you a good time.
Well, and the stuff they exploded was like the liquid form of it.
No, they were throwing fire on the other stuff, like on the mounds of it too.
It was flammable, but when it exploded was when he jumped down into the tank.
Right, and they sacrificed their buddy or whatever that died being shot. I mean, we kind of glazed over the mass murder that happened with.
Yeah,
like they're just like,
this is total. The outhouse, I'm surprised that anybody made it out of that alive.
Dude, there's like 10 people that made it out alive. There was like hundreds down there. Like this was like, honestly, at the end of the day, not a great plan for them.
I mean, it was. It was a great plan, and it actually would have worked out perfectly, except the assholes that turned them in, that turned on them, they let them know, so they were ready with additional troops and everything like that. So if they didn't betray them, and if they didn't betray them, they wouldn't have been ready with all of that, and it would have worked out perfectly. Sure. Everyone would have survived. Yada yada yada.
They would have came down. They would have been puking everywhere, so they couldn't fight back.
You want to know what else would have been better? Is if Donatello didn't go into that fucking body and was actually there to fight when the police came in.
Because he fucked them up.
And that was part of the plan, was that he was going to be there and fuck everybody up. But instead, he's like, no, this is endgame content. I'm going to go out there and fuck up some Gadal.
Last chance to fuck up some Gadal.
God.
Fun.
That's true. Well, I mean, they'd give him a hard time for that too, and then redeeming himself or not, I don't know. Like his the turkey was his name. The turkey that betrayed him all. His comeuppance was kind of lame too, and how he just like ran around the corner after like shunning Uncle for like the third time. Like that kind of bugs me too. It was just like proved 3 times that he didn't give a shit about you, drunk uncle. And yet at the end, when you're all shot, and he's like, "Oh, I'm all shot. You want to help me?" And he's like, "No, fuck you. I don't give a shit." And he's still just like, "Oh, that's the last straw." He's just like, he literally told that to you like 3 times by now.
He's told you that multiple times throughout this anime.
Multiple times. Yeah. Right. It's just like, he doesn't give a shit about you. Like, what the fuck? I mean, codependence, I guess, is a big problem, especially if you've been in jail for a long time. He was his bitch.
And he was drunk the entire time, so, I mean, I guess I get it.
He was drunk. You know what? You're right, Chris. I've talked it out. This is the reason why we have this podcast, for us to be able to talk out these serious issues about these fucked up anime characters, and now I feel better about this.
Stockholm Syndrome with alcoholism.
He's still nice to me.
Yeah, it's Stockholm Syndrome with alcoholism, which then still brings up the question of, how did he get drunk in the body that he was in out there?
You don't get high on your own supply, man.
No, he did get drunk. When they in the second batch of episodes, in like episode 7, he got drunk, and then that's when they were like, it still brings it back up. I mean,
for whatever reason, he had a flask too. He's just like, hey, you know, what's
his meat suit have a flask?
What's your starting equipment for your avatar? Well, you know, I'll have a sword. No, I'll have a gun. Nah, flask. All right, good.
Flask of fermented Gadal shit. Give me a flagger to that any day, and we'll be good.
Oh yeah.
Oh man. Yeah. So everybody died in the fucking outhouse. Drunk uncle sacrifices himself. He makes the big boy play and sacrifices himself. Goes down that pit like while he's dying. Blows the entire fucking thing. Kingdom Come. And then everybody
ends up blowing
escapes.
up the reactor.
Yeah, he blew up the reactor so that it
shut. Up there, blows up the reactor. So now they just need to shut down the GGS.
Yep, they do that. They get that off, and that's when she starts realizing that, oh, why is their home this place made of metal? why are all these computers hooked up to it? And he's like, that's what I've been trying to tell you. It's all made up. It's all fabricated. This is a game. It's all a game.
At this scene, it felt like he was about to die. Like he was just like, this is it, finally turning it all off.
Yeah.
I'm here at my deathbed. And then in the episode, the next episode comes in, he's just like, all right, let's go. And it's just like, well, what?
Yeah, suddenly she falls down and he's like, oh. And I think that is part of the whole, like, the body isn't a real body and it's all programmed to be that way. And he was just like, oh, shit. Limits. Yeah, push past the limits. Okay, cool. Push past the limits of the body. And that's, I mean, they do that constantly. They push past the limiters that are placed on those bodies to give it drunken strength. I mean, there's a term for it, but I'm not going to use it because it's politically incorrect as far as the strength. Oh, mom strength. They get mom strength. There we go. That's the better term that we can use for it. Is mom
child
strength.
Trapped under a car, mom strength.
Yeah, mom. Yep. You ain't ever seen a mom lift a fucking car as much as you see a kid. You see their kid trapped under it. It's just like tears every muscle in her fucking back. But yeah, mom strength just then pushes on and goes off without a hitch. They make their way out. And then that's when they start seeing the little Gadol that literally started eating all the corpses around. Like for him, it was a fucking feast because everybody was logging out, trying to get out, and he's just going around. He's like eating all of them, and they're making it pretty gruesome. Like you can hear slurping sounds, and you see their blood, their fake blood, like splatting all over the place. Or actually, guess it's real blood because it's living tissue. It's living tissue over skeleton. It's real blood. So yeah, real blood. So you see the blood spraying out there. It's actually probably one of the more gruesome anime that we've watched on this. I think there's more blood in this than there was in another.
Blood, vomit. There's
definitely a lot more vomit.
Yeah, definitely a lot more vomit.
Definitely a lot more vomit. Maybe more blood. That one's the hard one to figure out, is if there was more blood, because that whole scene where it turned into a stupid college or a stupid high school kid horror movie where they just start dying from the dumbest fucking things. It was just great.
Chandelier.
Oh no, the place is on fire. Let's run away. Pillar falls on them.
That's right.
It's Final Destination, the anime. And isn't that what we called it at that point?
I think so. I think
yeah.
that's what we call it, yeah.
Like they get their full on Final Destination moment here. Okay. So that all happens. This thing gets gigantic. And then starts evolving and whatnot. Kaiju. Yeah, it's full on kaiju. They realize that it doesn't have a chip and they have no way to control it and they can't do anything about it. So it's just going on and getting ready to rampage all over the place and murder everybody. And then they come up with the great idea. Well, they first try to attack it with Deca-Dence, even though Deca-Dence doesn't have enough power, and it just grabs it and I love that it rips the glove off. And the hand is still out there, just this like weak ass little hand exoskeleton that's just still hanging up there. Because you see it and it like rips off, and you're like, oh shit, it ripped off the hand. And then you're like, oh no, wait, it just ripped off the glove. So that's still just like hanging out there, and then it goes dormant.
Yeah, the dormant thing seems like kind of like a lame plot device to give them time to do whatever they needed to, because it's just like. That seems weird.
Yes and no, it does. But it makes sense if it was like making babies, so like it was using up its energy to do that. Yeah. Like a pregnant woman that, like has to eat like a gallon of ice cream and then nap so that then it goes to the babies, and then she wakes up and she's no longer like sending all the energy to the babies. It's like part of the reason why you got to nap so much when you're pregnant. Ask Rose, she'll tell you. But so they do that. Then the spaceship finally fucking does something. Gets ready to fire off a laser beam. It comes out of its stupor and fires off a fucking shit. Is it shit? or is it the blood?
No, it wasn't shit. It was energy, blood.
No,
thing.
no,
I mean,
it uses
this isn't the first.
it's liquid that it's shooting off though. That's the same.
Right,
that's the same question that we talked about before when it fired at Deca-Dence and it ate through it. It's a water jet.
Yeah, yeah.
So is it blood or
it's
shit?
Blood then. Yeah, it's blood. It's blood because it was red.
No, it's blue. They have blue blood. They have bluish green blood.
Yeah, but it was red. It was red though, is what they.
No, the one shooting down was red.
I thought it was the other way.
The laser beam was red, and it shot up a bluish green, which is the color of their blood.
Yeah. Their blood. It's also the color of their shit, so who knows?
And that's why I said, is it blood or shit?
They shot red. It was shooting red.
No, the laser coming down from the spaceship was red.
No, the Godal shot red.
Yeah, no. The Godal shot red.
No.
I'm telling you, it did. Yeah.
Then what color came from the spaceship?
Blue.
That was blue, yeah.
Dude, I'm pulling. I gotta pull this up now. There's gotta
damn
be.
It.
I know we gotta solve this. What was that called? It was called Alpha Omega or whatever.
It was the Omega, the Godal Omega.
Because it's red in this. It's oozing red.
Oh no! Wait, hang on, that's something else. Damn it! Deca-Dence. God damn it! Let's just do spaceship. Okay, there's the spaceship. I found the spaceship.
Space laser.
We're getting close. Solid Quake is the name of the spaceship. It's Solid Quake.
Solid Quake. Solid Quake. Because the other giant one that we ever saw shot green, and Solid Quake, amazing. Metal Gear.
I'm trying to find a good thing because the image that I see of the one image that I've found of it powering up is white. I'm like, that's not right. Damn it. And so Solid Quake laser. Maybe that. I don't think that's gonna work. Yeah, that's not gonna work.
No, yeah, that's what I'm doing right now. Anyway, it's red. Go back and watch it. Otherwise,
do I have to rewatch it?
No. But okay. You're gonna wanna.
So they fire at each other. Shit happens.
Yeah. Shit happens.
They cancel each other out basically almost, but the water jet makes it through because water trumps laser, I guess, or blood trumps laser. Who knows? And it actually damages Solid Quake. The bigger question is, they never turned down this force field. How did Solid Quake fire A into it, and B, how did the jet come from inside out if they had this weird force field that was going to squish everything? Jason can't do it.
Because the fin was actually resting on top of the force field and just barely sticking inside the force field. That's how it shot down, and why that was the only part of the ship hit, because it's the only part exposed in the dome. Because it's not always in it, because they have to come out of the ship at some point in time to go down to Deca-Dence, and it's not digital. It's obviously because the commander guy comes down and
which you still don't know how he did. We don't know a lot of these things. There's plot holes everywhere.
Yeah. I mean, there you go. There's the blue. Chris has got the blue laser showing up on his screen in the giant force field.
Is that? Wait, is that what it is?
Obviously.
Okay, yeah, there it is.
Sitting above it.
Yeah, okay, so it is above it, and it was a blue laser. Okay.
It's episode 11, around 9 minutes.
But how?
He went into it.
Did you actually? Well, yeah, because he's not streaming, so he doesn't have to worry about the audio coming through on the stream. I'm like, I could search that easily, but I was like, I can't.
I went through it to find it.
Yeah, so, yeah, they're up above. This bubble, that bubble's huge. Look how high up it comes above space. That's a huge fucking bubble. Like, why would you even need that much, like, bubble over, like, the Earth's atmosphere?
The only thing I can think of is that you want to make sure that you weren't able to be seen even at night, because the Deca-Dence is always directly below you, basically. It's the only thing I can think of.
But you get what I'm saying, though.
Yeah, that's like that's overkill for sure. Yeah, it's like,
that dome is huge.
Hey.
I mean, other than the fact that it has to be like a dome that they're doing, I guess, and maybe that's it. I don't know, but you would think
the Earth's not flat, Eric. They had to make it like they had to compensate, you know.
I mean, it's kind of right. It's like you take a dome and you put it on top of like another sphere, and you're gonna have a big ass dome, but it's got to be a dome. So it's got to be a half a circle or half a sphere. So I mean, it kind of makes sense, but god damn it, that's huge.
That's huge.
That's huge.
Yeah, it's huge.
Well, I mean, you had to give it that Deca-Dence needed to be able to move around without still being contained. You know, it's not going over the entire planet. And it's keeping some stuff out because obviously there was all those other giant Ascadals out there. So, you know.
How many of these are there, too, by the way? Because didn't they talk about how there's other...
They never went into it, but there's definitely others that they...
Yeah, because they referred to this one as the European. Yeah, it was the European one. So, what... Okay, how about this?
European server?
Yeah, what if in the European server, that's where you fought? The like North American one, just for hilarious juxtaposition, was the farming one. Because the North Americans don't love war, we know that. So and then they just expanded the farming one to Europe.
Maybe.
Oh man. Okay.
Does that mean Asia's a dating sim one? Is that what you're trying to say?
Well, no, actually, because that's the hilarious thing is that they dig farming sims a lot more in Europe. That's where it's an actual esport.
That's true. That is true.
Farming sim is huge in Europe.
Yes, it is. Okay, so we digress. The main guy boots himself into Deca-Dence, and then they activate the field around Gadal Omega, so that then everything has anti-gravity. Which they made it sound like they were going to shut off the gravity in the entire area just like for the dome. But no, they're like, all right, let's get that zone up there. And they just fire the needles at it. It pops its zone up. And then they pull everything in. And then you have that heartwarming scene where all of the dummy humans push with all their might to get that one small piece that really means absolutely nothing into Deca-Dence.
Like, we don't need it.
And they're even yelling at them. They're yelling at them like, why are you guys doing? Get out of here. That piece is unnecessary. It's like the appendix.
The spare part.
And then Donatello shows up and starts starts doing shit. They're like, what the fuck is going on here? All the people take off and they're doing it. It's like all the humans are just like sitting back. They're like, Donatello's like, you guys coming along for the mission? And they're like, what mission? So that part was good. And then they make a giant drill. And then they drill it into that guy. Hardcore.
Well,
even though
it stops it.
Well,
and then
because they ran out of shit.
His limits. Yeah, and he surpasses his limits in his cyborg body.
Oh yeah, that was the theme the entire time. That's true. That's true.
But so the question is with something that big, the fact that it ran out of fuel
doesn't matter. Push past the limits.
I mean, the power of friendship is very strong. Yep. But
his drill will pierce the heavens. Is what that was.
100%. That was our Gurren Lagann-esque moment there. I guess that was it. That was our Shonen Jump moment.
They channeled the Gurren Laganns. I mean, they had the glasses, so I mean, there's obviously already the.
Oh yeah, there. That was already there. Like they were giving huge homage to Gurren Lagann with the glasses.
This is a sequel. This is the sequel to Gurren Lagann. That was Gurren Lagann. The fucking MCP was Gurren Lagann, and then you're fighting against him. He then went bad.
Oh, he became what he sought to destroy.
What he fought against. Exactly.
Yes.
Exactly.
Oh. Yep.
It's all spirals.
You either die a hero or you live long enough to become the villain.
Yep.
There you go.
And he didn't die the hero. Yep, that's the problem.
Solved it all.
That's so sad.
Why don't marry fake people or androids?
Oh, he didn't actually live. And God took his sunglasses.
Oh my lord.
Okay.
Yoink.
I'm gonna take these, bitch. Get wrecked,
these are
motherfucker.
too cool. Yeah, right?
Pretty dope.
I'm sorry. You're smoking. These glasses are dope.
Okay. So they get everything done. They destroy Gadol Omega. Very kind of lackluster in my opinion with that.
Yeah,
I mean,
that was
the Deca-Dence thing itself was always a lackluster piece for me. It punches them to death.
Well, it's not meant to be the thing. It's
Yeah.
meant to be just a plot device for the game.
Yeah.
So it was never meant to be something because you as the gunners are supposed to take care of.
Oh yeah, no, I'm just saying that was
Deca-Dence.
super just not great. It's just whatever. That's dumb. Same thing with the giant spearhead that they put into it. It was dumb. It did the work though, I guess. I don't know. What core do they have? How do they actually die? I guess that's the big question. If that thing could evolve so much, I wouldn't be surprised if it never actually died. And they just the end of the anime was just yeah, Deca-Dence didn't survive. They tried to squish down the dome, and that didn't solve the problem. And now
it has a shield. Yeah.
And now it's Godzilla, and it is the size of the fucking planet. And now, that's the Gurren Lagann moment right there. Everyone fucking died, and Gadol Omega just leaves. I like that ending.
To fight death, to find more food.
Yeah.
He eats the planet and leaves.
Yeah.
And leaves behind the people underground to come back.
And it evolves into a humanoid form with a big purple dome crown, and it just goes around eating planets. And then maybe
we just
maybe
all.
Maybe at one point it finds some cool guy that it gives a surfboard and lets him fly around in the cosmos at doing his beck and call. I think that's a good idea. We could do that, right?
Canon.
No one's done this idea before, right?
No.
We'll call him Golden Surfing Bro.
No, it's the Golden Boogie Boarder.
Golden Boogie Boarder. Even better. Even better.
The Golden Scurfer. Because it's a small. It's not like a full size longboard. It's a real small boogie board. But he's like fuck that. I'm not riding around on that on my stomach. Boom, feet on it. I'm going. Oh man. Okay. All right. So that's it. The anime's over. We already talked about how they converted it into Animal Crossing / Farmville / all the different things. It's a farming sim.
They made PS Home is what they did. They're like, welcome to PS Home. It's not nearly as fun as the game you used to play or want to play, but it has a bunch of distracting things for you to do that are fun too.
And you can log in as your chibi or as a humanoid form. And then you make your own gardening tools, and you eat food that is made out of quite questionably shit from the Gadol.
Everything's shit. But by this point, everything's shit.
Everything's shit. Yeah, because
everything's shit.
And then there's a petting zoo, a Gadol petting zoo. That's no longer they no longer program the Gadol to attack. So they're all just like our friends and whatnot. But I still say,
they need meat. They need meat.
Creating the gameplay that goes in the zone and basically making Blitzball without the need to hold your breath for long periods of time was kind of cool.
So also, if it was for a half second, but I'm pretty sure the ball was the chibi brains. So you then as a chibi are becoming the ball that the humans are throwing around in the sport.
No way.
Dead serious. Dead serious. I was just that looks like their brain.
I wouldn't put it past that, actually. So the chibi thing, let's list off the things that we don't understand about the chibi forms. Why do they call themselves cyborgs when they're quite literally just AI? They're not cyborgs.
Well, like we said, if it was the humans that originally then went to become cyborgs, and maybe like the first generation were the traditional, they're the brains, humans into cybernetic bodies, cyborgs, and then obviously generations, who knows how long this has been going on for. They've now just devolved into whatever, but they call themselves cyborgs because that's what it always is.
But like, they at one point referred to that they were programs, and that's the reason that they become bugs, because their programming becomes corrupt.
The guy, the MCP, says that because he wasn't ever a human or anything like that. He was just the living form of the computer system. And yeah, he wasn't actually a human, like making these decisions. He was part of the system and under control with the system. And it was just like, yeah, you're all bugs if you're not doing what I think is the right possible activity. Yeah. I don't think that the actual chibi people were programs. I don't think that. I don't think that's part of it.
Okay. I don't know. The whole thing that they actually had chibi bodies there, and that wasn't the net.
That was
like
I was more of a mind fuck than I was.
It was way more believable that all that was happening like in the network, and it was very much like a hackers thing where it's like, this is the weird like envisioning of what's going on in there.
Here's my NFT profile picture. I'm ingenious because I chose to be like this idiot that looks like a game controller. Like, who would choose that normally, right? But it's just like, hey, whatever. But when it's just like, no, that's your actual body, bro. It's just like, oh, why would you do this to yourself?
Okay. The one thing that we didn't hit on was when he's driving off to go to jack himself into Deca-Dence, and he's driving in the car, and she sees him, and she's like, sees it going on, and just like, that was weird. And then when she gets there and they're telling him about his chibi form, they don't tell her, yeah, he was that guy in that vehicle that just took off that way. Right. They just tell her that he's got a chibi form that doesn't really match like his personality, and she's like, she just envisions this weird, like they took his face and smeared it onto one of the bodies.
He's got a similar form to me, actually. Okay.
Face. Yeah. Just face. So there was that. I thought that part was funny. And then she didn't even say anything about like, oh, like I was expecting something like, oh, that's what his body looked like. Like when she saw him when they pulled.
That was the first iteration that she saw.
No, when they pull the rubble off of him and they find his body. Yeah. Like I was just waiting for her to be like, oh, that's what he looked like.
Sure, yeah. Well, it was supposed to be an emotional moment, I'm sure.
It was supposed to be emotional. But one of the other parts when the girl like hacker one or whatnot wakes Donatello up, he calls her Two Eyes.
Right, for the glasses, and she has one. Yeah,
because she had the one eye and then the one glass over it. I chuckled at that one. I was like, ha, that's good.
That was good.
It was prime. And then at the very end, they found a backup of his data file and whatnot of his core, and they brought him back to life. Yep. And they make you wonder, like as they cut out, they're like, was it him? Was it not? And then they're just like, here's a drawing of him very much getting strangled by her.
Well, I mean, that was in the past, though.
No, that was real. With her still that's what happened.
She was still young.
You could see
she was still young.
No, that was just the drawing of it, though. You could still see the broken rearview mirror and the little dangly thing of the dog that was hanging in it. That was literally a still drawing of what happened right after it faded to black. That's what I thought. It was like a young one too, and they just didn't have the outfit.
Hair. Yeah.
Yeah, but it was then, like that's what actually happened. Like the
ending splash page. They didn't.
The telltale signs were the car, the vehicle.
It was obviously him. Why would she be excited about seeing anybody else? It was just like, okay,
whack. Okay. So we're done with Deca-Dence. Jason, I hate you. This is weird.
I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it a lot. It was super weird. It was stupid.
No, we don't get your score first. I'm just saying, Jason, I hate you. We get Chris's score first. You get to give your score last because it was your anime. And we want to see how much you try and like dissuade us into having a better score if possible.
Okay. I don't care. Go ahead.
I mean, it was weird, but I didn't hate it. It's definitely kind of odd and kind of weird, but no, I didn't hate it. So I think I gotta give it like an 8. It was actually somewhat enjoyable.
It was enjoyable.
It was different.
Yeah.
Definitely odd.
There were some parts that didn't quite make sense at all. Like, even if you suspend disbelief with the fact that they're there, they didn't fill a lot of plot holes. But beyond that, the story itself was good. So, like, I was going to give it, like, even before you said 8, I was going to give it a 7.5. It's a decent watch. It's not a rewatchable thing. I don't know if that would be probably necessarily good. But beyond that, though, it's a decent anime. Not gonna lie.
I enjoyed it. I thought that the storyline was fun. I thought that the characters were fun. I had good chuckles here. There's plenty to think about and discuss, and the world was entertaining enough that I would be interested in knowing more if they ever did expand it. I don't think they will, and I think that's kind of nice to have it all in one nice little package, but the opportunity to expand out there. I think it would be rewatchable in a couple of years. I wouldn't mind actually spending
couple of years,
to do it again.
Maybe that, yeah.
So for me alone on that, this to me is one of the more enjoyable ones that we've watched in our in cutscene. To me, like I enjoyed it a whole lot. I put it at a 9 because it's just like, to me, it's just like, what are we looking at? Aside from Erased, I'm just like, there's not a whole lot here that I liked much more than Deca-Dence, and I enjoyed it a lot. I had a lot of fun.
Maybe not.
You mean you didn't like Nice and Magic more?
I mean, it was very close. It was very, very close tie.
So I'm mildly scared because we've actually had a string of ones that we really liked.
This is true.
Because we all kind of liked Supposed Kid from the Last Dungeon Town, Dungeon Boonies moved to a starter town. We all liked Jorah and the Princess of Snow and Blood.
Yep.
That was enjoyable. I'm really scared. Kakushi Goto we liked, but that was sad. That whole thing was sad.
That was surprising.
Yeah. The daily life of the Immortal King. Okay, I think that was the last one that we were just like, I don't know. But before that, we had 8686, which is a good anime, but fucking
good anime.
Sad.
Fuck. Just gut punch after gut punch.
Yep. Okay, so Chris was the one that was going to choose the anime for the next one. We did kind of pull an audible on him because I think that the one that he had, like when he said he watched the first 2 episodes and Jason watched the first 2 episodes, he's like, it was kind of boring. We're like, yeah, okay.
It's alright. It's got a decent score on, was it the anime list or whatever?
My anime list.
I was like, yeah. But he knows there's some other options I had, but they weren't traditional length ones because they're something like Netflix, and so it's like weird.
They don't care. Netflix doesn't care about standard season lengths. They don't give one fuck. And that's why, like, when we watched what was the Great Pretender? The Great Pretender was one of those like 2 season
15
ones.
Or something?
Yeah, it was like 2 seasons and 15 episodes or something like that. Which is why I was like, well, you said that 2 seasons, like 7 episodes each season. I'm like, that's 14. We could do that
14,
easily.
So it's like, yeah.
That's doable. But we're not going to watch that.
No. Or it's a 10-episode one.
We're going to watch what I remember hearing as a really fucking sad anime. But also really good. It's got an 8.4 on IMDb. So that's actually a fairly good litmus test when it has something on IMDb for it. But so Chris has chosen Kotaro Lives Alone. Both synopses on IMDb and on Netflix are really short. So I'm going to read them both because I really like that they both have completely opposite directions of what it is. The IMDb one says, an unpopular manga artist has to care for his new neighbor, a 5-year-old child living alone. And then the Netflix one says, a lonely little boy moves into a ramshackle apartment building all on his own and makes friends with the broke manga artist who lives next door. And I love that it's like, that one's like he makes friends with him. The other one's like he has to care for him because he's a 5-year-old that lives alone.
My God.
Yeah. Yep.
This is going to suck, isn't it?
I've heard actually really, really good things about this one. And
awesome.
It's gonna be
good.
It's gonna be a little sad. It's gonna be a little sad. It is in English and in Japanese, so you can watch it subbed or dubbed. Everybody, that's not a huge issue. Watch however you want to watch. We'll probably be watching it dubbed because it allows us to do more at the same time, and we don't have to like spend all the time reading.
Our ADD brains don't let us.
Oh God, no! My ADD brain don't let me do shit. Are you kidding me? Could barely focus when I'm at work. All right, Jason, blog roll us out, buddy.
All right. Hey, you. Yes, you. If you're listening or watching us right now, guess what? We love you. Thank you so much for spending some time with us today and listening to us rant about this anime and all that bullshit like that. It was a bad choice on your part, but thank you for doing it. We loved having you here and listening to us for whatever reasons we talk about the sheer amount of shit this anime had. How
so
can
much
you get
shit.
Involved? So much shit. How can you get involved, you may ask, wondering how you can start the shit talk as well? Well, you can do that by emailing us. Anything at ibeatitfirst.com. Cutscene at ibeatitfirst.com. Chris, Jason, Eric, doesn't matter. Email us at ibeatitfirst.com. We would love to hear from you, and we want to know what you think. What do you think about this anime? What do you think about other animes we've watched? What anime should we watch next? Doesn't matter. We'd love to hear from you. We'd love to see what you think about it and what we should do going forward. While you're emailing us, be sure to check out our website, ibeatitfirst.com. It's where we have all of our websiting stuff around there. You can also just check out ibiff.co for all of our different myriad of networked podcasts that we do, because we do have an entire iBeat It First network now, where we have three different podcasts for your sheer enjoyment or torture, depending on who's listening to this right now, where you can have
all those poor people in prison.
All those poor people in prison. I greatly apologize while you're listening to my spiel here. We have our cutscene moment, which you're listening to right now, and enjoying people in prison. You're enjoying it right now by listening to this.
Is part of the solitary confinement meaning that like they give them access to the internet, but the only website that they can go to is ibeatitfirst.com?
No, this is piped in over a loudspeaker that like is halfway broken, so it sounds like just absolute ass.
Oh yeah, but I mean, like it's part of the punishment making them go to our website. They're like, yeah, you get on the internet, then it's only like you type in anything and it automatically redirects to ibeatitfirst.com or lonelyhouseplants.com.
It's just the videos of us building shit awkwardly on our YouTube channel, where it's just like that one where you're like, old and unboxing like loot crates, and me building the chair, and then Chris eating a gumball. That's all that they can do on there. Yep. That's it.
You building the chair. Oh man, that one.
Prime entertainment.
That was prime entertainment right there.
It was.
While you're at our website, whatever, check out our watch every morning. Why not? It's Saturday morning cartoons. Build the chair. You're listening to Cutscene. This is anime podcast, whatever that we talk about anime. You know that already. You can also check out our original podcast, which is the I Beat It First podcast, which is where we talk about nerd culture, tech, and all kinds of other random stuff that would happen for nerds to find and discuss. Last, we also have Patch Notes, which is where we talk to developers about not only their game, but really about them. How are they doing, and what makes them tick? Ask them the important questions of, is cheesecake a cake or a pie? Is a hot dog a sandwich? And all other kinds of fun stuff that we can do to be able to talk to these developers about anything really than their game. It's a lot of fun. Also, of course, be sure to follow us on all your socials, anywhere you can think of. I Beat It First, except for Facebook, which is ibeatitfirst.com. Who cares? You also have, of course, us on Twitch. We can find, which you're probably watching us right now on that. If you're not, you can watch us at twitch.tv/ibeatitfirst. ibiff.co for all our podcasts, ibeatitfirst.com for us. And I think that's about it. We do lots of cool stuff, and we'd love to hear what you have to say, so email us.
Yeah. Send us anything. Send us a fuck you at lonelyhouseplants.com. That's the thing. So
now I have to do something. Thanks.
Yeah, you have to. See, that's my favorite thing is actually putting something out there for it, so that then Jason has to do it because it's in the podcast now. Same thing that we did with the Discord, discord.ibeatitfirst.com or ibeatitfirst.com/discord. They all take you to our Discord, everybody.
Yep.
But thanks a lot for joining us. Please stick with us real quick. We will raid out after the podcast is over. But without further ado, we can't do anything without Chris saying...
Bye-bye.
Thank you, Gunnar, for the hydrate. Yep. All right, I think we'll just go to watch Holly.
Recording stopped.
A lot of our normal people aren't on there. We've raided into Purinari fairly recently. Although we could raid it. No, we raided into Rory fairly recently too. So yeah, we'll just do watch Holly. Thanks a lot, everybody, for joining us. This is a weird one. Lots of tangents again, as usual. I think the weird anime are the ones that really like make us go off into tangents. But thanks a lot, everybody, and we will see you guys actually probably tomorrow for me playing games. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
So perfect is all of this